Hello everyone, welcome in course of VBA Excel programming, and today is tutorial number 13 where we will be talking about loops and specifically for loop we will be talking about. So when we talk about loops, what does this means? Loops repeat actions so you don't have to do it again and again. Let me tell you, suppose you have to place your chair, you have 100 chairs in a room, you put one chair, hold this chair and place it outside your room. Then you come again and do repeat the same task. So you have to do the same process every time, that take your chair outside the room. But every time you have to do the same but with different chair. So now we will tell computer, do this step again but changing something. Maybe changing the object. Apply the same thing to different object. So this is called loops. So loops will give you the power to the programming. So right now, till now we have done the basics of programming. Now time has come to apply same thing to thousands of datas. So how we will apply to thousands of datas with the help of loop statements. When we talk about loops in VBA, generally it is for next loop, do while loop and for each loop that we'll be covering. But today to understand loops, we'll be covering for next loop. Fine. So when we want to understand the concept of loops, let's recap the concept of offset that we have learned. Offset was a property of range object where we said range a1 dot offset 1 comma 0 dot value equals to Saurabh, which means if we offset range a1 to 1 row and 0 column, we'll go into range a2. Fine. So this was our offset row comma column function. I will recap this, and with the help of this we'll try to understand, make you understand how loop works. So let's start our Excel. Developers, Visual Basic, and insert module as always. Fine. So let's start with offset example. Sub sub offset underscore example. So I have to write range a1 dot offset bracket 1 comma 0 dot value is equals to, in inverted commas, SAURABH Saurabh. Fine. So this is our code. I'm assuming that A1 is a column heading in our cell and we'll writing in A2, A3, A4, A5, A6 like this. Fine. So A1 is offset. Let me move into our Excel. Fine. So A1 is a column heading. It may be list of names or names. Fine. So in this column number 2, we need to write Saurabh in A2, then we'll write in A3, then we'll write in A4. With the reference A1, we'll always use range A1 and we'll apply offset. Fine. So when I run this program, run. So I've written Saurabh. Now I want to write in A3. So I'll say A1 and offset 2 comma 0. Fine. Because one offset, then second offset. So I'll write the same code. This time it will be 2 comma 0. Run this program. Let's see the output. So it is written Saurabh. Say now I want to write Saurabh again. Say 5 times total. So I have to write this code 3 times more. Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. So it was 1 time, 2 times. Now I can say 3 times. This will be 4 times. This will be 5 times. Say 5 times. Right? Let's run this program. Let's see the output. So we have written Saurabh. Say now I want to write this 100 times. So what we need to do is that I can tell my assistant, please copy these lines and change 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Hope you are able to understand this thing. Fine. So our objective is to copy this 1000 times and change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will solve the purpose. Fine. So now how to tell this computer to do the same thing? See, and here comes our loop example. So this will be our first loop example. We have to write Saurabh 1,000 times. Fine. So sub loop underscore example. Fine. So what we need to do is we have to write range a1 dot offset. Now 1 comma 0, 2 comma 0, 3 comma 0, like for 1,000 times. So instead of 1 2 3 4, I am using a variable, say I comma 0 dot value is equals to SAURABS Saurabh, but in inverted commas. Fine. So because I am using a variable I, first I have to define it out. So I can say dim is integer. Fine. So now I want this line to be written 1,000 times. Fine. And I should change from 1 to 1,000. Fine. First line will be I will be 1. So I say for I is equals to 1 to 1,000, and I say next I. So what does this mean? This is a loop. For I, next I will means it will change the value of I from 1 to 2. By default, it is increment is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this 1,000 times. So first time the value of I will be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and 1,000 times. So we will be able to write 1,000 times the same program. Let's see. Let's run this code. And in fraction of second, you see the magic. We have written Saurabh 1,000 times. So this is the power of loop. This is the magical power of loop I was talking about. That we were doing this thing for first cell. Now with the help of loop, we have done it 1,000 cells. And if instead of 1,000, if I have written 10,000, it have done the same thing in 10,000 in almost same time amount of time. So this is the power of loop that we have to start learning. Fine. Hope you are able to understand. You have to do this program yourself, understanding first offset and then applying the same thing with the help of loops. This is very important. Okay, so let's move ahead. So when we talk about for next loop, first we have to write for I is equals to 1 to 10, which means it's starting from 1 and end is 10. Fine. And you have to apply a variable for I. So computer will store the value of I, first 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So and next I means that it will change the value of I. So I'm telling a computer, dear computer, you have to count value of I first as 1. Then when I say next I, you have to increment that value to 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. So by default, it is increment of 1. If we want to increment of 2, we can say step 2. If we want to decrement, we can say step minus 2. So this is something different we'll talk about later on. But yes, every for will have next. Fine. Because whichever the lines are there in the between loop will be executed number of times. So this is all about loops. So we need to understand that every loop will have for I is equals to 1 to 10. You can have any variable. Instead of I, you can say count, num, anyone. I am using it I. Fine. And you have to write next I. If you say for count is equals to 1 to 10, it has to be next count. Fine. So this will work like this. So what we have done is, now when we talk about count variable, there are three things. Use this counter variable is I. So when we talk about counter, when I say for I equals to 1 to 1,000, it will count 1,000 times. So say I want to write a code for loop counter sub for underscore example underscore counter. Fine. Now see, if I say dim I as integer, and I say message box hello. for I is equals to 1 to 5. Don't do 1000 times. It will be a problem. Why? I'll tell you next time. Now I say message box hello. Fine. Now when I run this program, see what will happen. Run. First time hello will come. Okay. Second time hello will come. Third time hello will come. Fourth, 5. Okay. So after 5 times. So same process has been repeated 5 times. So loop I variable is not using any value right now, but it is helping you to count the loop. So we have used counter variable to count number of times the process has to be executed. This has been done. Fine. So this is one thing. Now say you want to say what to print. So in this program, what I want to do is in message box hello, instead of message box hello, I say I. So what will be print? Tell me. I want you to stop and write in the comment what you will be printing. So what I want you to write is tell me the output of this program without executing. For I is equals to 1 to 5, message box I. So first I value will be 1. So it will print message box 1. Next I will change to 2. Message box 2. Then message box 3. So every time in the message box it will come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Run. So let's run this program now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you saw that first of all I tried to use loop as a counter variable. Then counter variable I am also using it to what to print 1 to 5. Say instead of this 1 to 5, if I say I want to print multiples of 5 table, like 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10. So I can say message box I into 5. Now what will be the output? Let's run. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10, 5 threes are 15, 5 fours are 20, 5 fives are 25 like this. Okay. See what I've done is I into 5. So I was 1, so 1 into 5. I was 2, 2 into 5. I was 3, 3 into 5, 4 into 5, 5 into 5. So what to print? We can change with the help of loop variable. Fine. So what I was saying is that we have used loop as a counter. What to print? Now where to print? Right now I am printing on message box. But say I want to print on the screen. So what I can do is instead of this, we talked about range A1 dot offset, and I say I comma 0 dot value is equals to I into 5. Now see, this is very important. We need to understand this program. For I is equals to 1 to 5, range A1 dot offset I comma 0 dot value equals to I into 5. So now what to print is this and where to print is left side. So range A1 dot offset I comma 0 dot value, it means every time it will be offset 1 comma 0, then 2 comma 0, then 3 comma 0, then 4 comma 0, then 5 comma 0. It means it will print A2, A3, A4, A5. Fine. And what it will print it? 5, 10, 15, 20 like this. Let's run this program to understand. Run. And now see the magic. Let me go to the top. So it is printed 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 like this. Fine. So this was the magic we have done. If I do it for 1000 times, it will do the 1000 times. It was already, it cannot delete. Computer cannot delete on their own. Computer is a brainless machine. So we should always write a new program in a new worksheet. Fine. But right now I showed to you 5, 10, 15, 25. Fine. Okay. So it was now where to print. So now if I want to print like this, How it will be done? So I have to offset, instead of row, we have to offset column. So instead of 1 comma 0, 2 comma 0, I have to write 0 comma 1, 0 comma 2, 0 comma 3, 0 comma 1, 0 comma 2, 0 comma 3, 0 comma. Let's do it. Let's try to understand this. Instead of I comma 0, I write 0 comma I. Now let's run the program. For I is equals to 1 to 5, range A1 offset 0 comma I. So in offset in A1, you are doing 0 row but column 1, which means it will go to B1. Next time it will go to B2, C1, then D1, then E1, like this. So let's see output. Output will be I into 5. If you do I, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into 5, it will be multiplied by 5. Let's run this program. So here comes your output in this fashion. So if this is A1 and you do offset one row and one column, one row, one column, then one row, one column, one row, one column. So how it will be diagonal? So this will be diagonal output. Let's do this also to see the magic. How you can do it. So in the Excel, if I say offset I comma I, so every time I'm changing row also and column also, so it will be diagonal path. And let's run this program and see the magic. Run. So here outcomes come 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, like this. So this is all the loops. So we need to understand that we can use loops. Where to print? We change the direction. First we talked about vertical direction, we talked about horizontal direction, we talked about direction. Fine. We use as a counter. When we use message box 5 times, it will be 5 times. What to print? I multiply by 5, I into 2 plus 1, any mathematical logic that you want to say, or Saurabh. So you can do anything. What to print? Say I want to print Saurabh 1, Saurabh 2, Saurabh 3, Saurabh 4, Saurabh 5. How you will do it? Let me tell you this thing. This is a very interesting program. Saurabh 1, Saurabh 2, Saurabh 3, Saurabh 4, Saurabh 5, like this. It's not going. We want to print Saurabh 1, Saurabh 2, Saurabh 3, Saurabh 4, Saurabh 5. See. So I'll copy this program. Let's make another program to make you understand. I say sub Saurabh 1, Saurabh 2, Saurabh 3, fine. So I would say sub Saurabh underscore list, fine. For dim I as integer, I say for I is equals to 1 to, I can do 10,000 times also, 5 times also, 10 times also, fine. Always write next I. So now I want to print Saurabh 1, Saurabh 2, Saurabh 3, right? So I say range, let's print vertical only. Range A1 dot offset I comma 0 dot value is equals to Saurabh ampersand, and now I say I. I is a variable, it cannot be in the inverted commas. If you will print in inverted commas, it will print I instead of value of I. So variable are always used without inverted commas, fine. Now let's run this program. Run, and you see the magic. Oh, where it gone? Did I run or not? Let me do it again. Saurabh underscore list. Range A1 dot offset run. Here comes Saurabh 1, Saurabh 2, Saurabh 3, Saurabh 4, Saurabh 5. You can even write space with the help of VB tab, ampersand VB tab, or something like this. Or you can write one space, inverted commas, space, inverted commas, close. So you can do like this also. So you see that how it's done for us. Fine. So you see Saurabh 1, Saurabh 2, Saurabh 3, Saurabh 5. So It may be sort of 5, sort of 10, sort of 15 with the help of multiples. You can use like this logic also. So what to print? Where to print? We talked about counter, where to print, what to print. So these are three. So whenever you have to master these things. What to print, where to print, and number of times to be print, which is counter. Fine. So with the help of these three things, we'll be able to do things. Now take one example, say to read data or to write data. Fine. What does this mean? Say right now we are writing. When we talk about printing, we are writing. Say if you want to read data. Mhm. Say in our Excel, let's go into another sheet. And we want to write like we have some numbers. Say I say mm, you remember positive green numbers. Say I have this is my income and I want to say status. So this is 5,000 income. This is 7,000. This is 0. And this is say minus 100. This is 5,000. This is minus 3,000. So this is my data. Fine. This is my data. And I want to write whether it is profit, loss, or no profit, no loss. I want to write this in this cell. First of all, tell me how many times we have to write the counter. We have how many datas? 6 datas. So we need to run the loop for 6 times. Fine. Let's try to understand. And what we'll do is we'll make a program. We'll read this value in variable. Then we'll use if and else, and then we'll put the outcome in this. I will make you understand the program. Let's start writing it. Sub profit underscore loss underscore example. Fine. So we know we have data in from 2 to 6 cell right now. So dim I as integer for I is equals to okay. And one more thing, we have to read income first of all. So I take income as a variable. Dim income as double. Fine. Now I say for I is equals to 1 to 5. Fine. I say next I. Everything has to be done in between this. So now we know that we have to read data from A1, A2 dot value, A3 dot value, A4 dot value, and we have to store it in the variable. So variable is in the left side. So I have to write like this: income is equals to range A1 dot offset I comma 0 dot value. What will happen? First of all, when I will be 1, it will be A2 dot value. I will be 2, it will be A3 dot value. I will be 3, A4 dot value. So every time the I will change, the value in the income will change. Fine. But change will occur after next I. Okay. So now if say, I say if income is greater than 0, then I want to make it profit. But instead of A1 cell, I will make it in B1. Let's see our Excel. We have to write in the B1 column. Fine. So I say then range B1 dot offset I comma 0 dot value is equals to what? Profit. Else if else if income less than 0, then same, because we have same output. Loss, LOSS, loss. Else, we have to write no profit, no loss. We have done this program, right? Only we are applying loops now. And I have to write end if. Fine. And we have this next. See, for I equals to 1 to 5, income is equals to range A1. So every time I'm reading our income, if income is greater than 0, then B1 dot offset profit. Else if I'm again checking if less than 0, then loss. Else if it is not greater than 0 and if it is not less than 0, it means it is equals to 0, then you have to write profit, no loss. Fine. For if we have to write end if and next. And now we'll do this program. And this will become our magic. Let's run this program. Are you ready? Run. Now see the outcome. It is done for us. Profit, profit, no profit, loss, profit. Okay, we have done for 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we have to vote 6 times. So I have to increment the loop. It means that instead of 1 to 5, I have to write 1 to 6 and run it again. Now it will do for 6 also. So this is how we can use the power of loop. So we have read the data with the loop and we have written the data from the loop. So this is the way of reading and writing from the loop. Let's recap. For I equals income is equals to range A1 this. So every time in income variable, we are reading the new data. And based on that data, we are checking our if else statement. And after that, based on situation, we are writing what to write. So we have done. Where to write is this? Where to write is range B1 dot offset. Where to read is A1 dot offset. Reading is done with the help of I comma 0 in this. Writing is in range B1 dot offset. And what to write with the help of logic if and else. So with the help of this, we have done this program. Hope you are able to understand. Now you have to do something. Based on situation, do the same program in assignment. You have to apply. If it is profit, it should become green color text. Else it should become red color. And if it is 0, it has to be black, will be black. We have done this exercise in the last tutorial, right? So we have to use apply same like if income is greater than 0, range B1 dot offset I comma 0 instead of value, it has to be what? First of all, it has to be in the same cell. In cell which we are reading the data, we have to do the change color of the same data. So range A1 dot offset I comma 0 dot font dot color is equals to VB green is equals to VB blue like this. So do this assignment and let me know. So this was about loops. So when we talk about mastering on the loops, we have to understand the counter, like for I equals to 1 to 100, from what time of value we have to use. Fine. So counter, where to print, what to print, to read data or to write data. So these are almost 4 or 5 things that we have to master in the looping. So when we start doing this thing, we'll be able to transform data. Say we have a data in horizontal and we want to move into vertical time. So we'll read from horizontal direction and we'll move it to vertical direction. So lots of complex problems will become quite easy. Say there are 1,000 employees and you have to calculate the income tax of each employee. So say in the cell, if you have this data of the income and now you know how to calculate the income tax, which I had given you assignment, you can apply the loop and with single button, it will come how much tax each employee has to pay. It is very easy. So hope the power of loop will give you the exclusive power of programming. So we have started using that, and from next class onwards, it will be some examples of how to use loops, what we can do with the loop. Fine. So this will be quite interesting exercise when we'll talk about loops. Our journey of programming will be quite interesting now. So people, I'm sure you can develop this habit of as a hobby to how to master these complex problems. I'm sure you will enjoy this tutorials. And yes, one more important thing. Sometimes the loop goes infinite. Say I say for I equals to 1 to 10,000 times, and I say message box hello. So every time I have to click OK. So I have to click OK 10,000 times. And sometimes the program runs for 15 minutes and you want to break that program. So there is a shortcut called control plus break. Now, caution is sometimes the break key is not available in your laptop. So you need to make sure you know where is the break key. What sometimes it is control plus FN plus pause key which work as a break key. So Google it out, and if break key is not available on your system, make sure never apply infinite loops. Don't go for 1,000, 10,000 times, just go for 10 to 15 times for the time being. Okay. And when you are playing, and you should be knowing how to break a program. To break a program, you have to use control plus break key, and you should know which is your break key in your laptop. If you don't know, Google it out. Break key in Lenovo, break key in Dell, something like this. That will help you to understand how you can use break key. Fine. So that was a program on loop. Hope you have enjoyed the loop session. I'm sure you must have enjoyed. So I look forward for you, and please make sure to do the assignment and write in the comment, yes, I have done the assignment. Okay. So let's move ahead. Thank you very much, and please make sure to join bi-analytics.org. I want all Excel users on one platform, which is bi-analytics.org. So we can interact and discuss our case studies. Okay, I'm doing this thing in a office. So how can I write in macros? So now I want you to start thinking, okay, whatever repetitive task you are doing, can we do with the help of loops? Please write in the comments. I want to do this thing. Something is possible. So maybe I can take one case in the tutorials. Or if you are applying some macro but you don't know how this code has been run, your manager has written it, you can showcase that I was doing this thing, can you help us to streamline it to make it better? Anything can be done. It is all about programming, and programming is like a enjoying and making computers work for you is very smart thing. So look forward to meet you in next tutorial. Thank you very much.